why you should never date an artist. A guide to some of those that you should avoid in the creative universe, starting with 1, conceptual artists. Their art is the only art in our postmodern age, and they'll give you credit for respecting their work because you must be truly visionary to get it. But then they'll also make you feel like your work is less meaningful because it's more light or more humorous or, God forbid, commercial. Yet they will become hugely successful, going to fabulous parties where they hang out with peaches and fantasize about motherhood together. They'll say that parties are part of work. Stop inviting you before leaving you for one of the fabulous people at the fabulous parties. 2, musicians. They have an intense relationship already with their instrument. They will either be in so many bands that their time is insanely stretched, or they'll be in a band that you refer to as the band. And if you ever dare say, it's me or the band, the answer is more likely to be the band than you. The connection with the band makes you jealous, so you go to as many gigs as you can, until you know the set as well, if not better than the band, who sometimes are so drunk they can just about remember the songs. And then they'll be touring, and there'll be that one girl after that one gig, maybe a few girls after a few gigs, and after many girls and many gigs and many tours, your musician will either leave you for one of them or for the band. 3, poets. Oh, dears, steer well clear. They're dreamy or moody or intense, or, if you're really lucky, all these things at once. They feed on the highs and lows of human emotion, but they're so charming in this way that curls around their skin. They are all alcoholics, worse than the musicians. Seriously, they will definitely drink more than you. But you love words, and they make them sound so good, and that's so hot, and they are all fantastic in bed. So much so, you forget their flaws, thinking, I can work around them.
Yeah.
But the mood swings, and the jealousy, and the intensity will haunt you between those multi-orgasmic sexual marathons. And then one day your poet receives a compliment from someone in the audience at a spoken word event, who tells your poet, your work is awesome, I've seen you a few times. Poet takes her number, maybe even takes it further, and then when you next see them, they'll say, I can't handle being in a relationship. It's draining, it's affecting my writing, I've stopped writing, I need to be on my own to focus. And then, when you next see them, they'll say that yes, I can handle being in a relationship, but the girl they make that exception for will not be you. So, you've had enough. You go on a date with an accountant. You go on a date with a brain surgeon. You go on a date with a social worker, but it's just not working. You're gonna give up altogether until you meet the web developer, who's chilled out and totally into you, who may be able to make you a website. It's almost too good to be true, but you miss having intense debates about Turner Prize winners, and one night at dinner you wish that he would suggest a book for you to read for a change. You invite him to go to a show at the Tate, but he doesn't want to go. So you go on your own, sit by yourself in the cafe. Someone sitting next to you says, what are you writing in your notebook? You're like, what are you drawing in yours? But honestly, you didn't see it coming. Before you know it, it's the 6th time you're meeting. You spend late night after late night in some French wine bar trading opinions on everything from Dadaism to Bauhaus architecture. You're both crazed about Bukowski and Baldwin, but unconvinced by Laurie Anderson. And before you know it, you left the web developer for an illustrator. The affair doesn't last, but who cares? Because now you know that you are doomed to keep dating artists. Isn't that good?